There's no time here. Okay. 对，time.
您说夜谈。
111了，快了，快了。Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day to everyone. And welcome back to the global online courses on positive psychology. And today we're going to talk about positive communications. Basically, I'm going to introduce two skills. One is called active constructive response, and the other one is nonviolent communication. So these are two styles of positive communications that can help you to construct a better relationship with other people. So first, let's come to the active constructive response. To illustrate how active constructive response is, I have to ask Sarah, our TA, and most of you might have known her. Do you want to say hello to everyone? Yeah. And yeah, so we're going to illustrate how active constructive response is and how some other different styles are. So first, let's give an example, which is actually not active constructive response. Okay, so for example, Sarah, can you share a good news with me recently?
Okay, so hi, Kun. So recently I actually had an offer from a clinical psychology from being a counselor at a clinic, and I actually think it would be a very good opportunity for me. So what do you think about this? I'm thinking of accepting the offer.
Oh, no, it's I mean, why do you want to be a counselor? You should do research. You're a pretty good researcher. You should do something like for science.
Oh, so what I think is, I think research obviously is a good path, but for myself, I think counseling is a very good opportunity for me to step into the field of psychology in a clinical perspective, and it also helps. I also, it's an opportunity for me to help others, and it's my interest.
Yeah, it's your interest, but you know, research is the best way to get into any field, right? And secondly, if you want to help other people, why don't you do research? Research can help the whole human being, right? The human race to understand the whole thing. This is bad. I don't think this is a good thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess you probably want to go back and think about it again.
Yeah, I'll reconsider my decision. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, talk to you later.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks to Sarah. And actually, what we just did is called active destructive response. It's not active constructive response. It can, if you look at this table, as you can see, we can categorize response styles according to two dimensions. One is the content. Whether the content is constructive, that means I'm trying to build a good relationship between each other, and I'm really thinking for your benefit. I care about your well-being. Destructive means I don't care about our relationship, and I actually don't care about your well-being. I don't care about your interest. I just care about maybe my thoughts. And but we're both active. You know, active means it's engaged. I'm interested in this topic, so we talked about this. But I don't think people will feel well if the other person is using active destructive response. So how did you feel, Sarah?
Okay. So it was such an awkward conversation between me and Dr. Zhao. I felt very embarrassed and very uncomfortable because obviously he was interested in the topic that we were discussing about, but he was not interested in my opinion on what I think is the best for me. Instead, he had his own opinion and he tried to illustrate his own idea upon my decision, and I did not feel supported at all. Instead, it felt like an argument, and it made me think that it might be a mistake of accepting the offer. So I don't think it's a very well, it wasn't a very good
Conversation.
yeah, conversation, and,
Yeah.
and it felt quite awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, so this will make the other person uncomfortable
Yeah.
and feel bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least this is an active conversation.
Yeah.
So there are also two other styles of response, which are both passive. So let's try passive destructive response first. Okay, let's do it again, Sarah.
Okay. So, hi, Yukun.
Hey.
I actually have a offer from a clinical department offering me a counseling job, and I'm quite interested in it and thinking of accepting the offer. What do you think about
Oh,
that?
nice. Congratulations. But did you hear that Mary also got an offer from Stanford University? She got admitted to the PhD program. That's really good too.
Oh, that's great. So what do you think of my decision? I think it would be a very good opportunity for me to accept the counseling job from this clinic. What do you think?
Sounds nice. And, Mary is very excited too. She's like, she's going to become Dr. Mary, and she can have a brilliant future in research. So we're going to have a celebration tomorrow to, celebrate her offer. Are you coming?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Thanks for the offer.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, so this is passive destructive response. As you can see, I don't care about her topic at all. So how did you feel, Sarah?
Okay. It was awkward.
Yeah.
So I try to talk for my thing, and then Dr. Zhao is saying something else. Like, obviously he was not interested in what I was saying. Instead, he was trying to like tell me other stuff about like a better person or a better opportunity, which made me felt quite embarrassed as well, like quite awkward, and just didn't know how to continue the conversation. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's called a passive destructive, because I'm not actively criticize her.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm indifferent. I don't care about it at all. Yeah. So that means I'm not engaged in this conversation. I'm not engaged in her topic. I'm only engaged in my topic.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called passive destructive. It's destructive, but it's passively done. And also there is a passive constructive response, which means, okay, yeah, this is good for you. I'm thinking about your well-being. I think that's a good thing, but I just do it very passively. Okay, so let's try again.
Okay. Hi, Yukun. So I've actually got a job from a counseling clinic, and I'm very interested in being a counselor. I'm thinking of accepting the offer. What do you think about that?
Oh, good. Congratulations.
Oh, so I think it would be a good opportunity for me for my whole career path. And what do you think? Do you think I should accept the offer?
Yeah, I think so. Good. Yeah, we're done. Good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay. Okay, thanks for the opinion.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Congratulations.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, good. Okay, so this is called passive constructive response. As you can see, I'm congratulating her, but I'm not showing much enthusiasm. I'm just like repeating the three phrases. Congratulations, good, well done, right? So that means I'm not so engaged in this conversation. So that's why it's called passive, a passive constructive response. How do you feel if you're like being treated with the passive constructive response?
It feels like you were just being polite to make a response, but you were not very engaged in the whole topic, and you just want to quickly like have the conversation over, so you just don't have to talk to me anymore.
Yeah, right.
So it feels like I was quite like my whole idea of the job was ignored. Like you were not interested in discussing the whole thing with me, and which is quite like it doesn't feel very well. Feels like I was not very important, and you just don't care about it.
Yeah, right. I just hope you disappear as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you may feel ignored and
Yeah.
you feel I'm pathetic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I'm passive.
Yeah.
But so all three of these are not good, but there's
Yeah.
one good way of respond, which is
Yeah.
called active constructive response. So let's show you how active constructive response really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it again.
Okay, so hi, Yukun. I actually got an offer from a clinic recently, and it's for me to be a counselor, and I'm very interested in this. So I'm thinking of
Great.
accepting the offer. What do you think about it?
Oh yeah, nice, great. This is your dream, right? Of course you should accept it. That's great news. Yeah. How did you do that? How did you get the offer? I think it's very difficult to become a counselor.
Oh yeah, so I tried a lot of ways to like get a lot of certificates and stuff, and then finally I got it. I emailed it a really famous council clinic, and I actually got the offer. They accepted me. So now it's me who is should I accept the offer, because I actually got the offer from the clinic already. So like now it took me a long time to get all the certificate and qualifications, and now I'm qualified to be a to be a counselor.
That's
and very interested in this field.
Yeah, being counselor, you can help a lot of people. I know this is your purpose. You always want to do something meaningful. Yeah, so that's your passion. Yeah, and I know you actually spend a lot of time working on that. Yeah, I saw you're great in this. That's so great of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when are you going to take this offer? So when are you going to become a counselor?
I have a month to think about it, and so that's why I try to ask for people's opinion and whether or not I should continue as a researcher or to become a counselor to help a lot of people. Like I'm still kind of like unsure about it, but my interest is to be a counselor.
Yeah, that's very nice. You have 1 month, then you can do a lot of preparation for that. Yeah. That's great. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, this is active constructive response because I'm apparently interested in her topic and I asked her about details, right? And I assured it's her effort, it's her contribution to this goal, to this success. So how do you feel when you are like being actively, constructively responded?
So I felt very happy about Dr. Zhao accepting my contribution to this achievement that I have made. And although it's not confirmed yet, but it's kind of a confirmation for myself to assure that I'm doing the right thing for my life. I'm on the right track, and it makes me feel like what I did was meaningful, and it's got a purpose.
Right. Yeah. So actually, I can see even though Sarah is acting, she's much more energetic in this part than the other three parts. Because, when you are being ACR, actively, constructively responded, then you naturally feel more engaged and more kind of excited about the whole conversation. So that's why, we should do active, constructive response, because people can see you care about them and you really showed the care, and this care are contagious, so that the other people are more happy after this. So this is the correct way of respond to other people's good news. And what we illustrated was an example of, good news between friends. So let's take another scenario, because these principles are easy, but we have to show you a real example. Because these principles are easy, but we have to show you a real example. So let's try it.
Okay. Okay.
Let me stop the sharing so that we can have the bigger screen so that people can see the bigger screen. Okay, that's better.
Okay.
Okay. So that people can see the bigger screen. Okay, that's better.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Yukun, I just had an offer from Stanford the other day, and I think it would be a very, very good opportunity for me to be able to go to America and take a step.
Why? Why do you want to go to America? There's a pandemic now. Why do you want to go there?
Well, I mean, it's a whole different environment, like for research, for studying, for living. And I feel like I could learn something new from a new environment. I think it's a good opportunity for me and for us.
But Tsinghua is pretty good university too. You can learn a lot here. If you cannot learn new things here, you think you can learn it in Stanford? I don't think so. Did you really consider?
Well, I mean, it's different. It's not the same. It's different. It's America and China. It's this cultural difference.
Yeah, right. That's challenge. You think you can handle the challenge?
I
You
think
think
I
you
can
can?
handle the challenge.
That's very difficult. You know, people there are tough. And Stanford professors, they're very tough.
Yeah, but you can only learn more and like gain more from tough environment. And I think it's a challenge for me. I think I step up from that.
But then how about our relationship? You know, I stay here in China and you are in the United States. I don't think our relationship can last.
Well,
You
can always come to America with me, or I think our relationship can be stable enough if we are stable enough.
No,
It's just for
there's a
short term.
pandemic. I cannot fly between United States and China frequently, and you cannot either. So we'll be separated for, I don't know, 5 years, 3 years. You think it's possible that we keep this relationship? Can you be more responsible to this relationship? Okay, I think that's it.
I think that's the end of the conversation.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel very angry, actually.
Yeah, of course. And so here's the question. I'm not going back to the slides. So I'm asking all of you to type in the chat area. What kind of styles of response did you think I just did to Sarah? You know, there are 4 types: active, constructive, active, destructive, passive, constructive, passive, destructive. You can just say the acronym, for example, ACR or, oh yeah, people are, yeah, you're doing pretty well. ADR, yes, you're right. It's AD, definitely ADR. Yeah, you're right. Okay, good. Looks like you're learning. So let's do a second illustration. Okay, so let's do it again.
Okay. Hey, Yukun, I got an offer from Stanford, and I really, really think I should accept it because it's a really good opportunity for me to like step up, like for the future. What do you think?
Oh, good. Congratulations. Nice.
Do you think I should accept it? Like,
yeah, looks like it's good. It's good.
But what about the future? What about the relationship between us? Like,
yeah,
it's going to be long distance, and
but it's good. Don't worry, it's good. I think we can do it.
Do you have other opinions on this? I mean, it's just me because we're in a relationship, and I feel like it's a decision for both of us. Like, what do you think about?
It's good news. Congratulations. We're done. Pretty good.
Okay, conversation ended.
Okay, I'm actually very curious how long Sarah can last. Usually this conversation lasted like 5 sentences ago, and you are persevering. I admire you for that. Okay, so yeah, we got the answer. Yeah, it's passive constructive. You're right. I'm polite. I'm good to her.
Too polite.
Yeah, too polite, but I'm not engaged. Yeah. I'm not giving any meaningful feedback. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, so now let's try another style.
Okay. Hey, Yukun, I got an offer from Stanford, and I'm thinking of accepting it. Like, what do you think about it?
Oh, nice, Stanford. So which professor are you going to learn from? Is going to supervise you. I know going to Stanford is like your dream. And I know the ranking of Stanford is like number one or number two in psychology?
Yeah.
So which
yeah.
professor are you going to?
I'm going for Professor D.
Oh.
And Professor D is like one of the best professor in the Stanford's psychology faculty, and I feel like that is great opportunity for myself.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. I read about some news and stories about this professor. She did really great research.
Yeah.
I think you will have a very brilliant future because being her student, and you will become maybe a great faculty too.
But what about our like relationship? Like obviously it's going to be long distance and like pandemic, we can't see each other very often.
Don't worry, I can fly to United States and you can fly back to China, right? So, I think actually in Stanford, in other American universities, they can, just ask you to be there during pandemic to take courses for 1 or 2 years, and then you can come back to the research. After all, there's lots of research that need to be done in China, right? This is such a big country with so many cultural differences. We need to study in psychology.
I think I can learn a lot from America. Like although it's very different, like what we learn in China and what we learn in America. So I think as a combination, it will help me to develop a greater future.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after you get your PhD in Stanford, then you can find a great faculty position in a good Chinese university.
Yeah.
You will have a very good future. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So what do you think? What kind of style is that? Could you guys type? Oh, you already typed there. Okay, ACR. Okay, I didn't see it because I was turning to her. Okay, great. And AC is very nice, as we can see from her reaction. And finally, of course, that's the passive destructive response. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. So let's say I'm working on my computer, and you can,
Hey, Kun, I actually got an offer from Stanford. I just got an email from them that they accept me as a PhD student. Professor D, what do you think about that? I really want to go.
Yeah, maybe. Did you see this news? This is really terrifying. Yeah, can you see that? This is new virus. This is really horrible.
Oh, so what do you think about the Stanford offer?
But I mean, this virus is coming, this Omicron, maybe killing like half of the population in the world. Oh my God, what should we do? What can we do?
Are you listening to what I just asked? Like, what do you think of the
but look, the world is ruining. The world is gone. It's dead. Why? What? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The world is over.
But okay.
Okay. I think that's it for you.
I can't.
Okay. Yeah. So it's passive destructive response. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you were never treated like this way, huh?
Did not know how to react to it.
Yeah. Okay. So as we can see, the passive destructive response is really kind of annoying. You feel like you are totally ignored, and you don't even know how to continue the conversation because he never started. He never, got participated in this conversation.
Yeah.
So it's pretty bad. And we need to actually use active constructive response because that's the only way that can increase our relationship. For example, this is a research done by Gable and her colleagues. She surveyed the relationship between the different kinds of response and the marriage, the quality of marriage. And as we can see, both male and female feel the same way. It's the same pattern, so that ACR, active constructive response, is the only method that have a positive correlation between the marriage loyalty, satisfaction, trust, and intimacy, which means the couples are loyal to each other, they are satisfied with their relationship, they trust each other, and the relationship between them are intimate, which means they share very intimate information, message, and their secrets. So these four are the very important indicators of marriage. And very importantly, as we can see, it's not only for the females. People would like, okay, ACR is good. I treat my wife like this, but I don't need other people treat me like this because I'm a man. I don't need those kind of emotional, sentimental thing. But actually it's wrong. According to the survey, both male and female would prefer active constructive response, and all the other three responses are bad. And that's actually different. It's contrary to what usually the stereotype of people think about gender roles. So gender roles are social stereotype on what males should behave, what females should behave. Typically, we would expect male to be instrumental, which means, you know, they are good instruments to life. They have to make money for the family. They have to lead the family. So they have to be confident, independent, aggressive, decisive, and leadership, right? And also powerful. So that's what we think males should be. And females should be low in instrumental dimension. So that means they should be conforming. So they should not be like male. They should not be confident, independent, and aggressive. They should be like, you know, obeying what other people say, and they should be non-competitive, which means I don't compete with other people. I'm a good girl. But on the other dimension, expressive, people would expect female to be very expressive so that they are tender, they are sensitive, they are emotional, and they treat other people with a very good understanding. But males should be non-expressive, which means they should be silent, taciturn, and they should avoiding emotional expressions. They should be like stones, right? So this is the stereotype of what males and females should be. But according to science, this is wrong. Actually, there's about half of the population who fit in the stereotype, but there's about 35% of people, they're high in both instrumental and expressive dimension, which means they are both, which means they are confident, they're decisive, and they're independent, but also they are emotional, they are sensitive, they care about what other people think. So this is actually the ideal combination of these two gender roles. And this is evenly distributed in male and female. So which means about 35% of male and 35% of female are both instrumental and expressive. And there's another 15% who got both low. So they are low in both expressive and instrumental, or misfit, which means, for example, a male who is totally opposite to the social stereotype, so that he is high in emotional and low in instrumental. So we would imagine, okay, so a perfect marriage must be a instrumental man and a expressive woman, right? But actually, no. Survey shows that the traditional types don't prefer each other, which means in the blind dates. So scientists did a experiment. It's like blind dates. We know that, okay, so men and women, they sit with each other and have a quick talk and see whether they like each other. And it turned out that those, for example, the instrumental men don't prefer expressive women. Actually, both sides, any man and a woman, they would prefer another side to be both expressive and emotional. So that's what people really want. And actually, survey shows that couples consisting of two traditional types are not very happy. So the most happy marriage has at least one person who is both high, which means this person is high in both expressive and instrumental. If none of them is high in two dimensions, then the relationship would be difficult. So a traditional type of man, for example, this man who is high in instrumental but low in emotional, and a woman who is high in emotional and low in instrumental, the marriage actually is not very happy. So this is a lesson that we can learn from science, that especially for males like me, we often think that okay, we males should be like stones, right? We are strong, but we are cold. That is wrong. We should be warm and strong, and we should use ACR, active constructive response, to our spouse, to our girlfriend, to any other relationships, to our colleagues, to our friends, etc. So how to do active constructive response? I have showed two examples, right? As you can see, I asked Sarah about details. So you can ask her, oh, when did you achieve this? What was the good news about? Who told you the good news? Where did it happen? All these details. And more importantly, ask her or the other person about the process. How did you achieve it? Wow, this is amazing achievement. How did you do it? What kind of strength did you use during this process? I knew that you could do it. And I noticed that you were using for example, your perseverance, and you were using your leadership, you were using your creativity. So let her know that you noticed, you paid attention to her achievement. And that's the most important one. The third one, attribute the success to personal reasons. For example, your effort, your character strength. It's you. It's not just pure luck, right? It's not just, other people's help. Of course, other people helped you. There's luck too, but you need to attribute the success to that person. That would make her much more confident and feels like, okay, you are really engaged in this conversation and you are really encouraging. So this is how to do active constructive response. Okay, now so let's do an exercise. So for example, what if your spouse, tells you a good news that he or she just got promoted in her job or in his job? Please type in the chat area what you would say or ask. I know you would say congratulations, but yeah, if you have more, what kind of response or questions would you ask? Please type in the chat area. And you can type multiple responses, because we already gave you a lot of tips. Oh, that's Camilla said, that's great news. Is there something special you did recently? Yeah, this is like notice the process. Whoa, we got to celebrate this. Yeah, this is a positive reaction to the good news. And more, I think people are busy typing now. How did you beat that competitor named Mary? That's a good one. This is great. I'm proud of you. Yeah, what a great news. Who told you about this? How did you get this chance? I'm so excited and happy for you. Congratulations. Well, congratulations. It needs to be followed with more details. Otherwise, it sounds like a PCR, passive constructive response. So you need to ask more questions. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this I can see that from the response. Oh, okay, and much more coming. Okay, what are you going to do after the promotion? Yeah, celebration. What? Congratulations. Let's celebrate and tell me more details. What you have done. Good. Oh, great! You are so excellent. It seems that you've made a great achievement. And oh my God, that's really great. What's this new role about? Do you like this new job? Yeah, that's good. That's asking about the details. Well, you really deserve it based on your work hard. We should have a celebration. Yes. And Tiwari said, that's really great. What is the promotion about? What is going to change for you? That's nice. How did it happen? I'm really happy for you. Good. Great. So it looks like you guys really mastered the skill of the active constructive response. And so far, we've talked about how to do active constructive response for good things. But this is also useful for bad things. When bad news come, and we can also use active constructive response. So now let's ask Sarah to do illustration again, and I will stop the share so that you can see the video more clearly. Okay, so let's, for example, Sarah has a bad news recently.
Okay, I actually have a bad news recently.
Which is true.
Which is not acting. Okay. So I have a bad news for myself, and yeah, I just lost a game the other day, a school game, a badminton game the other day, and we lost against the winner. So we were runner up, and I'm quite upset about it.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, you should feel ashamed for this. I saw your performance.
Oh.
You did terrible. You are the worst in the team. Do you know why the team lost? It's because of you.
Oh, yeah, probably.
This is really bad. I mean, you should apologize to the team, and you need to work much, much, much harder. I mean, and this is not even you. You did much better before. You are just not good for games.
Yeah, it could be my problem. Yeah, I didn't play well in the game.
If I were the coach, I would have just dismissed you from the team.
Oh.
This is really bad. You did terrible job.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So how do you feel?
Well, 扎心了.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was quite like, I wouldn't say I was angry, because that's not how I felt, but I felt very uncomfortable, and I felt very like not being supported. And so I feel like although it's teamwork, but after he said that, I might actually think it's my problem, and it makes me feel like I've done something really, really bad for the team, and I should not have been there as a team member. And so I think it's it made the situation worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so can you guys type in the chat area what kind of response do you think that is? Yeah, ADR, I can see. Yeah, it's ADR. It's active destructive. I'm actively criticizing her, destructing the relationship between us. Yeah. And I obviously don't care about her emotions, her thoughts. I just try to express my anger. Yeah. So yeah, this is active constructive. Okay, so Tama said some people commit suicide after receiving ADR. Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay. So now let's try another style.
Okay. Hey, Yukun. I have very bad news, and we played a badminton game the other day, last weekend, and we got runner up. We lost against the winner, and like I felt quite upset about it, because I don't think we did very well.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So like I'm quite upset about it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's really bad. Sorry about that. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you guys think this style is?
PCR.
PCR, yes. Yeah, people are typing. Yeah, this is passive constructive. I'm constructive. I'm like, yeah, I feel sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to say that. I'm either unwilling or I don't know how to express my comfort or condolation. So I just can say, oh, I'm sorry. It's bad. Yeah. So what do you feel about being like treated by PCR?
It was a little bit better than
ADR.
active destructive, but I just felt nothing because I was not like I had no response from you, and I was trying to receive some sort of like some level of comfort, but it was not showed, and it felt like you just didn't care, and you're just like trying to like, oh sorry, bye. Something like that.
I just can't wait saying bye.
So it's kind of like
I'm trying to let this thing stop annoying me.
I felt like you didn't care at all.
Right. So this is PCR. Okay, now let's try another style. Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. Everyone knows that I lost a game, a badminton game last weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. So Yukun, I lost a badminton game last weekend, and we only got runner-up. We lost against the winner, and I felt like we could do better, but we just didn't. I feel like we've all made a lot of mistakes during the game, so quite upset about it.
Yeah, I can see you must feel very bad because you guys really exercised a lot. You really did a lot to prepare for that, and you lost the battle. It must be tough, very tough.
Yeah. I felt like we could do better.
Yeah. It's a little bit unlucky. You know, I was there. I watched the game. I think, this is just a pure luck. You were like so close to the victory, but you lost it. But anyway, they are very strong team. We have to admit that they're the champions. But I think you're just so far away. So if you guys spend more time training next semester, I think you can win it again.
Yeah, I think we need a bit more training.
And
to be more like know each other better. Like, with our partners and stuff.
I talked to the coach. Actually, he had some new ideas. I think he will use these new ideas to train you guys next semester. I think your chance of winning and beating them again is bigger than 50%.
Wow. Okay, let's go.
Okay. So, people are really already typing. Yeah, this is ACR. As you can see, I'm actively engaged in this conversation, and I'm constructive, right? I give her comfort and encouragement and suggestions, right? So that I think you feel much more energized and boosted after the defeat.
Felt like very it was supportive and engaging, and although it's bad news for me, after this conversation makes myself feel better about it and makes me want to like fight again. So it's like encouragement for better improvements.
Okay, then finally it's the PDR. Let's do another illustration. Okay.
Oh, so you're gonna have a very bad news that we worked really hard, but we lost a badminton game against another team last weekend, and we got runner-up. So we lost against the winner. Quite sad about that. Okay,
that's bad, but you have an exam coming, right? Did you prepare for the exam?
No, I should do have an exam coming. No, I have not.
You should. I mean, you're a college student. You should spend most of the time studying, right? Not doing sports. I mean, prepare for your exam.
I know. I study. I spend a lot of time to study, but like I'm talking about the badminton game. Like, I mean, we all felt very upset because we worked really hard in our free time.
But like exams are more important than badminton games. You should focus on learning.
Fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, as you can see, this is PDR. I don't care about her loss.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in what she's talking about. I only care about, just like any Chinese parent, I only care about her academic performance, right? Okay, so this is when bad things happen to you, you can use active constructive response versus the other three types in it. Because as we can see, let's get back to the, okay, here it is, to the slide that if you do active constructive response to the bad news of other person, that means you are empathize and comforting her and give her suggestions and encouragements, versus the other three types. For example, the first one, active destructive response, it's like criticizing and even humiliating her. And all the passive ones let her feel like I don't care, and I'm just either perfunctory or change the topic immediately so that she will feel very awkward and lost. Okay, so this is how we use active constructive response to resolve, to kind of respond to comfort other people's bad news when they feel sad. But there's a final scenario. So what if there's a conflict with other people? Actually, there's this 4 different styles too, so that you can use active constructive response to resolve the conflict, or you can use the active destructive response to fight, or you can use passive constructive response to just stop the fight, or you can use passive destructive response to get into the Cold War. Okay, so for example, as you guys may know, Sarah is from Guangzhou and Guangdong, and I'm from Jiangsu. So for example, Christmas is coming, or Chinese New Year is coming, and it's a typical time for people to get reunited with family. Let's say we are a couple, and we have a different opinions on where we should go for this Chinese New Year. Okay, so please watch this illustration and decide what types of response we are doing. Okay, so now let me stop this share screen so that, okay, let's do it.
Do I start?
Yeah, you can start first.
Okay. Obviously, I think you should come to Guangzhou for Chinese New Year.
We went to Guangzhou last year. It's my turn. We should go to Jiangsu this year, right?
I didn't know that you went to Guangzhou last year. Hang on. No, because you have brothers and sisters, but my family, they only have one daughter. And so like my mom wants her only daughter to be there. And I mean, like, it's, you can ask your brothers and sisters to be with your family, and you can come with me to be with my family. No, this is unfair. Yes, I mean, your parents only have one daughter, and my parents have more children. But I only have one parent, one pair of parents, and you only have one pair of parents. We are equal here. We both have only one pair of parents. I want to see them too. Yeah, but my parents are your parents too. But your parents are my parents, but my parents are your parents too. This doesn't make any sense. You need to have some logic. We need fairness here, right? No, but you should just let me be, because I'm the woman, and you should listen to women. Why I should listen to women? It's wrong. It's not wrong. Okay. It's right. Women are always right. Okay, I guess we cannot continue. All right. So I actually admire how you fight during couples. And may I ask, do you have a boyfriend? Okay. I do. Oh, okay. Unfortunately. So, and he listens to you. For him. Okay. Yeah. I agree with you. Men should listen to women, by the way. Women's always right. Okay. So this is ADR. Yeah. And people are right. I think you're already typing. Yeah. This is a
active destructive response. So we got into fight because both of us are kind of like we both of us actually just care about ourselves. We don't care about the other person's well-being, and we are actively engaged in this fight. Okay, so next let's try another style. Okay.
So New Year's coming, and I think we can go back to Guangzhou to celebrate New Year with my family. What do you think?
Really? I think, yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. You are the boss. I listen to you.
But it's a family thing. Like, you don't seem very engaged in this.
No,
I mean, you
no,
can just tell me about like what you think.
Look, I'm engaged. I listen to you. Man listens to woman. All right. we go to Guangzhou. That's it. Okay.
But you don't seem very happy.
I'm happy. I'm very happy.
With that face, not really.
I'm happy. I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm very happy. Let's go to Guangzhou. That's fine. My parents don't need to see me. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Conversation ended.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, people are typing it correctly. It's PCR. It's passive constructive response. I'm like, yeah, we need to keep the relationship. I don't want to engage in fight. But actually, when I don't want to engage into fight, I'm not engaged in this conversation either. As you can see, I just want to stop this conversation. I'm afraid of conflict, and I'm passively responding. So, okay, so that's PCR. And let's try another one. Okay.
So New Year's coming, when I really want to go back to Guangzhou and be with my parents. Like, do you think it would be a good idea to be in Guangzhou for another year? No?
Well,
excuse me?
Well, let's not talk about this.
But it's New Year's coming. It's in 2 weeks.
Yeah. No.
No, as in like you don't want to go to Guangzhou, or no, as in like you don't want to have a conversation with me?
Can we not talk? Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So yeah. Okay. So yeah, people are already typing. It's PDR, right? This is like I'm passively destructive in this conversation. Actually, yeah. It's mainly me, actually. You are not PDR, but I'm apparently like it's Cold War, right? I just don't want to listen to you, but I don't want to fight either. Yeah. So I just avoid the topic and stopped it. Yeah. So yeah. So finally, let's show how to do the how to resolve the conflict in the ACR type. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Yukun. So like New Year's actually coming in 2 weeks, and I really want to go back to Guangzhou. I know that we went to Guangzhou last year for celebration, and but I kind of want to be with my parents again this year and kind of miss them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
But my my parents actually miss me too, and actually miss you and our kids too. So yeah, they really actually hoped we can go back to Jiangsu this year.
Well, that's correct, because we've been in Guangzhou last year. Like, what do you think? Like, maybe we could half, like half of the time being Guangzhou, half of the time in Jiangsu.
That's good, but is that really exhaustive? Do you think you can do it? I mean, we have to travel twice instead of just once.
Yeah, I think we can do it. I think we can adapt both families. We can be a little bit busier, but like happy for the both family.
Yeah. I think actually this is a great idea, because from my past experience, if we spent 2 weeks with them, we were getting to fight. Yeah. 1 week is great. 1 week they were still like us, and then we disappear to another to make trouble for the next family. Yeah. Good. That's good. Great plan. Yeah, let's do it.
Good plan.
Yeah.
Family should do that.
Yeah.
Half.
Half. Don't stay in one family for too long time. Okay. Okay, so this is apparently ACR, right? We are trying to resolve the problem, and we're both kind of doing it in a constructive way. Yeah. We're trying to build a good relationship and resolve things in the active, and actually this is good for our relationship. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is how we resolve conflicts. You should also use ACR in this case. And thank you very much, Sarah, for the great performance. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now let's get back to our course. And actually, I have to apologize because apparently I underestimated the time slot for the ACR part, and we only have like 5 minutes left. It's impossible to finish the nonviolent communication part. It's mainly because me and Sarah actually just improvised. We didn't rehearse. So it's fun, but it's very natural, and I didn't expect it to take so long time. So anyway, so I think maybe we can, because we always get prolonged for class. I always take too much time for you guys. So I think it's fair that we stop a little bit earlier today, and I will save the whole nonviolent communication part for next week. And next week, we will also use another half of the time to talk about the topic that we should have been talking, which is meaning in life. So I think that's it for today for the content part. And do you guys have any questions? We can go to the question part. Okay, and I can see there are 2 questions. The first one is from Echo Jones. Does humor help positive communication? Yes, of course, it helps hugely. And let me tell you a secret, actually. One of the reasons that my wife likes me is because I'm pretty humorous. And when you are humor, because humor means I'm friendly, I want our relationship to be fun, to be different. And I care about you. Think about it. People are not humorous if they don't care about you, right? Because humor really requires high intelligence. That means you're really thinking how to please the other side. So yes, humor really helps, but be careful. Humor doesn't mean demeaning or sarcasm. Sarcasm means, I'm irony, and I'm trying to be humorous in a negative way. So try to avoid being irony or sarcasm, be true humor. Okay, the second question is from Tiwari. In a relationship, how can a ADR person and a PCR person get along? Can it work in marriage, for example? I don't think that's going to work, because ADR means this person, for example, if I'm ADR and my spouse is PCR, that means I'm always attacking, right? I'm always like criticizing the other person, and I'm selfish. I just think about myself. And the PCR person is like, okay, I don't want to get into trouble. Okay, I will listen to you. For example, this is in the conflict example that we just illustrated. That means this person always listens to the other person. So the relationship becomes more and more unfair and unequal. And eventually there will be huge problems between them. Either this person will erupt and there will be a huge battle, or eventually this relationship become too thin and it will break. So no, it will not work. I think both sides should learn how to do ACR. Okay. And Yi Zhen asked, what's the best reaction when facing the ADR or this type of person? Well, I would say first, do not spoil the ADR person. We probably know another word which is very popular in the Chinese media word now, PUA. It's called, it's pickup artist, but the meaning, at least in the Chinese word, has changed from the original meaning. So it's not just how to pick up a girl or a boy from a bar. It's about how you manipulate and control the other person. And to me, ADR is PUA, because this person just cares about himself. He's just like, okay, I don't care about your relationship or well-being. I just care whether my desires is fulfilled. I just look at your shortcomings and your weakness. So first, you need to stop this. You need to tell this person, okay, I don't feel comfortable. Just like what Sarah said, she feels uncomfortable, embarrassed, and sometimes angry, right, when she's treated with ADR. First, tell her, I don't like it. Stop this. And secondly, give this person suggestions. For example, listen to this course, right? Okay, so I figured that you are doing ADR and this is not good for our relationship. If you still want to keep our relationship and if you still want to improve our relationship, please do ACR and tell her or him how to do ACR. So you should not spoil this person. You have to tell this person to stop and change to ACR. And it's pretty easy. I already give you tips, right? Just ask this person to, respond with more empathy and also more appreciation of you. Okay, and Tawari asks another question. For a stable and a good relationship with others, how can people change their attitudes to ADR? I'm not sure about your question. Did you mean how can people change their attitudes to ACR? It can be very different attitude, behavior, thinking from their personality. No, I think it's just skill. This is not difficult at all. This is not like, okay, I'm an introvert and I need to change to becoming more extrovert, or I'm for example, from the personality perspective, I'm a neuroticism and you want me to be more emotionally stable. That's much more difficult. But ADR, in your case, I think you were saying ACR, it's just a skill. That's why we say this is a technique that you can learn today. So just tell this person, first of all, be mindful. If this person is using ADR or PCR or PDR, point it out. Every time when he or she does this, tell this person, you are doing ADR, you are doing PCR. These are not good for our relationship. We need ACR. And then tell this person how to do ACR. And as I just said to Yi Zhang, if it's good news, tell her or him to try to practice asking more details and point out what's happening in the process, and also attribute the good news to this person. And if it's bad news or conflict, you can also use more empathy and give this person more encouragement and how to resolve the problem friendly. So yeah, this is not difficult at all. And Shimmer asks, how about if the contrary side is too passive, too negative, too stubborn to change? Say if the wife insisting spending the Spring Festival at her hometown, no matter how the husband said. Well, as I just said to Tawari, just point out that you are doing, for example, ADR or PCR, and if you want our relationship to be increased, let's use ACR. Okay, so I can see your question, sorry. So the key thing here is not the consequence, not the result, not the outcome. It's not like, okay, only if the wife changes her mind and listens to the husband, that means you guys have ACR. No, ACR doesn't mean the other side eventually listens to you. ACR means you guys had a very good conversation. so that you understand each other. Maybe in the end, the husband was like, okay, I think she's right. So let's use her plan, and maybe we can go to my hometown next year. I will explain to my parents. That's fine, as long as you are doing ACR and each of you and both of you see other person's point and you agree that this is the solution. That is fine. You don't have to. So the outcome is not important as the process. If you are doing ACR, it doesn't matter what kind of outcome it is. On the other side, for example, in PCR, the wife may be like, okay, listen, I listen to you. Let's go to your hometown. But she's not happy. That's not good. So the key thing is not the outcome, but the process. Okay. And Tamar asks, what if a teacher is giving a student ADR or PDR? It might be hard to tell him or her about this. You're right. So first, invite this teacher to watch our course, and so that she or he can understand the ACR. But I think it's not that difficult. Actually, there's a bunch of research and resources on internet. So you can find the materials describing ACR and ADR and present that to the teacher. Actually, there's a bunch of people, teachers doing ADR or PDR all the time. Actually, for example, in our example of bad news, right? When a student fails, the teacher will not comfort this student. Instead, he or she will criticize this student, just like what I did. Or doing PDR, like, okay, this one doesn't matter. If you lose a sport game, that's not important. Let's go to your academic learning. So yeah, we need to actually tell the teacher to change his or her style to ACR. You can get actually a bunch of resources. Just to Google ACR, active constructive response, and you will find a bunch of material and present that material to a teacher. I hope that she can change. Okay, that's it for the Q&A, and let me see whether there's any questions in the chat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see people are saying this really suits for couple. It's couple and everyone, actually, all the relationships. Actually, we also showed the two examples between friends. So yeah, friends need ACR too. And okay. The question that Shimmer said in chat is also in the Q&A. And there's another question. So it is about giving up. Sometimes there are just so many things we cannot change. So if we want to continue or keep the relationship, we should just accept, we should just balance our expectation and the reality. Oh, you're right. We didn't spend time on too much time on positive relationships. One of the very important thing is acceptance of the other side, acceptance of yourself, and acceptance of what the relationship right now. So for example, to illustrate how ACR worked, me and Sarah actually, reached a solution very quickly, but usually it takes much longer time, much longer discuss, much more negotiation and compromise. But again, so during this process, actually, it doesn't matter what the eventual solution is, but how you guys talk, how you guys discuss, and how you guys negotiate. So that means you have to accept something that you cannot change. Otherwise, it's not called compromise, right? So yeah, I agree with Shimmer. So sometimes we should just accept and try to improve in the future. Okay, so yeah, and Wan Long Yang said that I think it's quite hard to perform ACR if I myself am in a down mood, and that's really a challenge to give ACR if I'm not happy. You're right. If you are in ACR, you are pretty much most likely you are doing, for example, ADR, right? To kind of criticize other person. But again, this is just a skill. This is like if you are not in a good mood, then you probably cannot ride your bike today. No. So the key thing is you practice and practice and practice so that ACR becomes your natural response, so that when people say, for example, a good news to you, you just naturally ask us about the detail and why you need to do this, because ACR brings you out from a down mood. Did you realize during that 4 examples, when we were doing ACR, actually not only Sarah was more excited and energetic, I was more energetic too, right? I feel more comfortable when I was doing ACR. I don't like giving ADR either. So when you are doing ACR, that means you become engaged into a better relationship with that person and sharing good news or comforting other people. These are very good for your relationship. And for example, we talked about that in last class, that altruism actually is a great antidote and a great medicine for depression. So if you're in a down mood, that means you actually need to perform ACR to other person, but that requires a lot of practice. So just practice ACR in your life. Okay, so I think that's it for all the questions. And yeah, so we will kind of end a little bit early here today. And I think it's good that we at least, mastered one skill today, which is ACR. And I will see you next week. We'll talk about nonviolent communication very briefly, and then we will move to meaning in life next week. Okay, see you.